Alright, hi everybody, it's Abe again, and today we're going to do something a little bit different, which is kind of what I do, well, a lot of the times on this channel. But anyway, most of you probably don't know, but back in the day, a long time ago, I used to play the viola. Started playing when I was about 8, and I stopped basically sophomore year of college, when I was, 20? So I played for about 12 years, various school orchestras and whatnot, and I even played in a quartet near the end there. It didn't go very well. But anyway, this is my viola, and it's a pretty decent instrument. It was made in, oh shoot, I can't even remember where it was made. In Korea. Okay, so anyway, built in 1996, which kind of gives you an idea of when I was playing this. And it's not a bad instrument, but when I was a youth, we all thought that oh yeah, classical music's fun, but we got to do some really funky stuff. So I started playing around with different string combinations. At one point, I had all gut strings on my instrument because I wanted to be all old school, like Baroque old school, or older than that, or Renaissance old school. And at one point, I did another thing, which was get a pickup for my instrument. Somebody bought a Zeta violin into class one day, which is an electric violin of sorts, and so we all thought it'd be cool to get these pickups. So as you can see here, I've got this pickup, and it goes under the bridge here, and I guess there's a little transducer in there that vibrates, and you plug it in here, and you get sound out through a speaker. And this is not in tune, haven't played it in quite a while. I'm actually going to decompress the strings here a little bit. But anyway, so that was kind of cool. But it didn't really get the sound that we really wanted. It wasn't the sound of a Zeta. It wasn't the sound of like an electric guitar. It was more the sound of an acoustic guitar that's been, it's got a pickup on it, which is fun. You can amplify it. And then if you've got a good amp, you can get all sorts of, some fun sounds out of it. But later on, kind of near the end of my high school career, I decided, you know what, I really want a true electric viola. And so I went ahead and built this. And it's been sitting for quite a number of years. It has seen some better days, but I never really quite finished it. Cut the buddy out myself back in the day. Cut out the bridge, or fingerboard. The bridge is the one part I bought along with the pegs. Should have bought a fingerboard as well, because when I finally put it together, I got the a tailpiece and a chin rest that I purchased along with the pickup. This is a guitar pickup. And when I finally got done with it, it's basically unplayable because the distance between being able to push the string down and getting a good vibration off it, just the angles aren't right. I carved this all by hand and sanded it down and whatnot, and obviously I'm not a professional. I didn't know exactly what angle. I tried to copy my own instrument. Initially I had a better one, but it wasn't high enough. In wiring it up, and again, probably a funny story there. I went to the guitar store to get a pickup, and I told him, oh, he's like, what are you doing it for? Or what are you getting it for? And I told him, oh, well, I'm going to make an electric viola. He's like, oh, and you want one of these? And he hands me the little acoustic transducer thing. I'm like, no, that's not what I want. And he says, well, yes, it is. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Because, for those of you out there, you'll notice that. All right, so, sorry, I'm kind of talking all over the place. But the reason why they use acoustic transducers on most like actual violas or on acoustic guitars or whatever is because the way the instrument's built, you can't use an electric guitar pickup. And the reason for that is because the way that this pickup detects sound is very different from the way a transducer does. There's not a little thing in there vibrating. This is a couple of electromagnetic cores, and you've got these steel pegs that are in there, the little cores that are in there. And obviously this one was designed for a guitar, so it's got 6 of them, but it actually still works. But in order to get any sound out of it, the strings kind of have to be electrified. And in order to electrify the strings, you got to have some way of grounding them on the other way. Well, I accomplished that by putting this little wire across all 4 of the strings, and then I soldered it to the lead, which goes to the little control piece back there. And that serves the purpose of, like on this electric guitar, where we've got steel strings or steel coated strings, and then we've got a steel tailpiece and a steel height adjustment here, and all that's wired in on the inside of this. So that when you turn it on, and I don't know how loud this is, you can get kind of a distorted sound, and it sounds pretty pure because it is, it's generated by an electromagnet. So this instrument was designed basically the same way as a regular electric guitar, and honestly, I haven't played this thing in probably a decade and a half. And as you can tell, it's not grounded very well, but it does work, because if it wasn't wired up at all, or if it wasn't wired up right, you wouldn't hear anything. So I've decided, instead of chucking this thing, I actually pulled it out, and we're going to go ahead and try to fix it up. My wife has said that I really need to start learning how to use a jigsaw. We're going to make some toys for Link and whatnot. And I figured to get some practice for that, I'm going to try to cut out some new fingerboards and figure out how to wire this thing up right. Maybe bore these holes a little bit bigger here so these controls can actually go in. I got to look up again how to actually wire this thing up, because it's been years, I don't really remember. And then we can see about fixing some of the geometry so this thing can actually be playable once again. One of the other issues I had when I first built it was the I can't even remember what this is called, the scroll, the key, the pegboard, whatever you call it, where the pegs go in for tuning, kept cracking on me, so I had to glue these extra pieces on here. It actually looked kind of cool at one point, but it needs a paint job, needs to be finished. So yeah, let's make some videos on that. This is just kind of an introductory video, but we'll be working on this over time, and like and subscribe if you want to see more of it. I don't know too many other people that are doing this or this kind of thing. It's kind of a cool continuation or finalization of a project that I started when I was in high school. And yeah, maybe at the end of it we'll have a playable instrument that'll be kind of neat. So I hope you enjoyed this, and talk to you soon. Bye for now.